Okay, so next up in line, we have the lovely Susan, who I just had an opportunity to meet recently. And I love that we have so many stories and that we have people from all over the world who are on the same call each Saturday, which is really cool. But Susan's a former nonprofit executive turned entrepreneur. I absolutely love that. And I love meeting people that come from, that corporate background that immediately see something in this business, a way to help more people and a way to grow beyond what the corporate job gives you in life, right? So Susan is a team leader. So, again, she's doing about 3,000 points in her team building compensation plan. And so, Susan, are you there? I would love for you to share a little bit about yourself and your background and what brought you to Modere.
Awesome. Thank you, Sonja. And just thank you for this opportunity to be part of this call. I am a wife, newly married last November, right after Thanksgiving, originally from Chicago, Illinois, and was just super blessed to move to Hawaii in 2005 to a neighbor island, to Kauai. And all that work that you mentioned in the nonprofit sector, in business development, economic development, strategic planning, that eventually led me to Honolulu here on Oahu about 8 years ago. And with my last position, or what I've come to know is that dreaded JOB word. I was the executive director of a statewide economic development organization, and I finally left that position in late 2022 to go back into consulting in the same field. So now I am an entrepreneur, and that actually allowed me to finally take some time off to get some long overdue major foot surgery. So I have this titanium plate with 8 screws in my right foot to show for it, and that's a big piece of what led me to Modere, besides a really good friend who introduced me to it. And so that long recovery time was actually the start of my kind of reevaluating what I wanted to do and who I wanted to do it with and the kind of impact I wanted to have in my community, because servant leadership is super important to me. So I kind of re-looked at my why and were the things that I was doing in alignment with my life and my goals. And so a big reason why succeeding with Modere as both a customer, right, as a user of the products, and as a social marketer, why that's been so important to me is it's part of my focus on health and wealth for me, my family, my friends, my community, because after that foot surgery, which came with a long recovery, and by the way, you can read between the lines, which means I put on a lot of weight while I was off my feet, my mom became ill and passed away last year. And then my partner was diagnosed with stage 2 prostate cancer the day after we got engaged. We got married in November, and then not even a week after his surgery, his prostate surgery in December, we find out that he has blood clots that traveled up to his lungs, and, he had a ton of pain and therefore a long recovery process for him. And I'm super grateful to say that we just found out that he's cancer-free and his clots are resolving, but it was a huge wake-up call on just how important maintaining our health and living a healthy lifestyle is, and Modere just fit right in with that picture. It helps not only with the health side, but also with providing a source of income, whether you choose to work on it part-time or full-time. And not to mention, this is just an incredibly encouraging and supportive community that's already been built in Modere, and the focus on personal development and, that goal of time freedom, through this kind of model. So that's kind of my background story on how I came to it. And the person I have really to credit with bringing me here is Emily Manuel, which many of you will be familiar with if you were part of last Saturday's team call. Emily is part of this business, obviously, and she made Director 1 and Silver last month. And she brought me into this because, as she shared last month, she also recently got engaged, and so looking at her upcoming wedding this year, she said, you have to join me on this weight loss journey that I'm on. And she kind of introduced the idea of Modere, and I'll be honest, at the time I was caregiver, earlier this year, we both joined about, I'd say around like the new year. I was, caregiver for my husband, and because I trust her implicitly, she is just one of the most amazing human beings. I just trust her wholly and completely. I went, you know what? I'm there for you. I'll do it. I trust you. As long as this product doesn't kill me, because I'm caregiver, that would be awesome. And Modere, like between just the excellent products and the business opportunity and just, the impact that it's had on me. And now subsequently, my friends and colleagues who have signed on, it just has been like the best decision I've ever made.
I love that. And first of all, I just want to say that I'm so glad to hear that your husband is doing well. That's, when you hear that C word, my father passed away 8 months ago from the C word, and it's a very scary time in your life. And I will tell you, we have some commonalities. I lost my mom in 2022 and my dad in 2023, and throughout all of that, I developed a new level of gratitude for this business because exactly what you said, you have the time to focus on what matters, your family, right? So your husband needed your attention, and Modere allowed you to not only get better with, of course, anything and everything as it relates to your health, but also a financial vehicle, because going through those things can get very expensive. So I'm so glad to hear he's doing well, and thank you so much for sharing that story. Prior to coming to Modere, had you ever been in any network marketing company before?
Oh, well, first I just want to extend my condolences on your mom's passing, because I know that feeling, so my heart goes to you. In terms of network marketing experience, I was part of another company, but really only for about like a year and a half, and the majority of that time was really as a customer. I was a customer of, a few other network marketing companies, but that was really to support my girlfriends, who also, were looking for an additional source of income. But this last experience, I kind of learned about kind of the fundamentals of network marketing and, the importance of relationship building, how to build that story, that personal story and the branding. But I never really focused too much on it because last year of, between my mom passing and kind of my own health journey and then my husband's health journey. So very, very little network marketing experience.
And that's, as I always tell people, it's, when you come from that background of network marketing and you land at Modere, you cannot unsee the things that are so amazing about this company. But when you come here with, very little bias, if you will, you're like an open book, and you're like, I just want to learn all the things, and I want to learn the system. Success leaves clues. And when I was looking at Modere, I made a list of, all the people that I admired in the industry who had done bigger and better things than I had, and they were all in Modere. So it was kind of a no-brainer, because truly, if you've never created success anywhere before, and I see this over and over and over again, and you're a perfect example. You can come here, plant your flag, use the incredible products, share your story, and create results. So that leads me to my next question. What is working for you? How have you gotten off to such a fast start and become a team leader already? Because clearly you're working the business, because we call it network marketing for a reason. So what are the things that are working for you currently?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, and I wanted to reiterate your point that you made earlier. Modere it definitely provides this very level playing field for people of any background and any level of experience, because I'm living proof of that. What I did was because the first few months of the year was spent as a caregiver, and also trying to basically go through the journey of what do I want to do when I grow up, right? Because I was going through a major career transition. I tuned into a lot of the resources, which are amazing in Modere. It's like the whole gamut, from the Modere Life app, which provides, a lot of the testimonials, a lot of the information that you need, a lot of information that you can share, to the trainings, calls like these, Saturday team calls, but a lot of the trainings that are provided, I kind of drank from the fire hose of all the training just to learn what is social retail and what is social marketing. And there's no better way to learn than direct from the people who are doing it. And what's amazing, like you said, you had mentioned, right, years of success and epic failures, and that is, the best way to learn. And so having gone through that, at some point, I think it really was when we heard mid last month that my husband, right, cancer-free and his clots are resolving, and something about that clicked in my brain that, okay, this is the time, I have more time freedom. I don't have to worry as much. It wasn't as stressful in that sense. So I was like, okay, hit the ground running. And Emily Manuel, I can't say enough about her. She is a fantastic leader, and I would hope that everybody has a leader like her, because she always stayed in touch with me, always checked in and said, hey, is this the right time? If it is, boom, here it is. I'm going to work with you. And because I was really trying to be coachable, teachable, and, ready to roll up my sleeves, that's when I just took everything that I learned, and I think I signed up like 6 social marketers in this wild push in just the last 2 weeks of the month. And a lot of it was thanks to the promos. But just like Dana said, proof is in the pudding, because I had started my products with Emily several months ago. I can point to how I lost 8 pounds in my first 5-day drop. I lost probably a total of over 20 pounds at the end of the 30-day lean body system. So the people closest to me saw how I was losing weight. They saw how, because of my long rehab after my foot surgery, how long that was taking. They started seeing me moving around, more agilely and just more strong. Those opportunities, it is so true when they say people are more open to listening to people they know, like, and trust. And so because we have, that friendship, the relationship already, the commonalities, it just naturally, like so organically opened up conversations. And so friends and colleagues, they commented on, hey, you've been dropping weight, or they said, hey, your hair and skin, which took a beating from all the family stress and the health scares, they're like, hey, your hair is coming back in wonderfully, right? And in Hawaii, you just have that long hula hair that you're constantly trying to take care of. They were seeing these improvements, and when my friends started using the product too, right, because they trusted me, just like I trusted Emily. So similarly, they became walking billboards for the products, right? And they became my new testimonials, because in our circles of community, right, our circles of trust, people tend to trust people that they know. And so now I have more testimonials about, like, the effectiveness of the product and the community, right, that it just builds such confidence and encouragement. And then to have, like, these really professionally put together, like, testimonials and materials from, like, the Modera Life app, from the various Facebook groups that Emily added me to, the chats, where we can add and tag and message people into, the postandprosper.com site with the before and afters. It just made it really easy to just start the conversation, because who doesn't know someone who could lose a few pounds? Or who doesn't know someone who has some aches and pains, right? When you see somebody and you're like, hey, how's it going? You can hear them go, oh, and that's a sign that there's a need. And so when you strike up those conversations, right, that health and wealth conversation comes up very organically. And as you're talking to them, just seeing how they are, and they mention an ache or a pain, or problems with their stomach, or with their hair and skin, or inflammation, that's the pain point, and that's the need. And you and Dana made just an excellent point earlier. Showing you care and listening and understanding, people's concerns and their problems, that is just so key, just to being like a good human being to begin with. But that will show you, that'll guide the conversation. And when the time is right, that's when you can mention your experience about Modera and how effective it's been and the results, not to mention they've seen it. And Dana also mentioned kind of the importance of sharing samples, because I have the chocolate liquid BioCell chews and that pixie stick-like probiotic. I haven't had anyone who didn't love it, like, right off the bat. And they just thought it was just innovative. It was just, like, brilliant, that form of delivery, because it's like having candy while you wanted to lose weight and while you want to improve your joints and your skin and your hair. With all of those tools, it was really easy to show all these success stories and you add to that like the amazing promos that have been happening last month, and you can always say too, I think this will work for you. I have confidence in the product because I'm a product of the product. But there's also a 100% refund within 30 days. So it's a relatively risk-free experience. And so when I got out of my own way, I stopped the overthinking, I stopped doubting myself. I just, I went for broke. I was just like, I told myself, go for broke. Emily told me, go for broke. And although I joined around the new year, I was able to just kick it in gear last month and just, thank you, Jesus, I became a team leader.
Well, that's quite an amazing story, and especially with all the other stuff you had going on in the background. And, I love that we're hearing this common theme this morning of being a good listener, because I think, starting in, of course, the digital age, but even more so when COVID hit and everything became digital and you hide behind the computer, there are so many other ways to have conversations. And I love that we're starting to do that again. And letting people touch and feel the product is an incredible way to get them hooked. Because even though they're not going to see results from that first shot of BioCell, to know that you're offering them that opportunity, it makes them know, like, and trust you even more. And so these are all really great tips, because I truly believe that social media is a tool, but it is one tool. We have a million other ways that we can build this business, and you just have to find what works for you. I also love something else that you said, Susan, and I think this is a very real thing. As a leader, I get this question all the time. What should I say? In other words, they're looking for the perfect script, and I'm here to tell you that that doesn't exist. Yes, we can guide you in the right direction, but be a human and then be a marketer. So ask questions, listen, because I guarantee you whoever you're talking to will tell you the answer. You just have to be listening. And if you're busy with your own agenda and you're not listening, you're never going to pick up on the clues. So make sure you use the 2 ears and shut the mouth if it doesn't need to be moving. So awesome. That is so great. Such great information. You very much inspire me, Susan. Thank you. Anything else you'd like to share before we move on to our final speaker?
Yeah, just super quick, similar to Dana, I took a sabbatical from social media because I was just so busy with work and so surrounded by so many people. I just went detoxing from people. So the idea of social marketing was a little foreign to me, but I have to say I, got out of my comfort zone, made that first post about my wedding and a major career shift. And I think 70 or 80 people liked it. And one of the things that I'm learning from the 6-week Rank Up, Bank Up, and all the other trainings, when people like your posts, that's immediately part of your market, right? I had immediately, like Dana, gone to my warm market, but those 70 to 80 people who liked or loved or, cared, about the post, those are people that you can immediately strike up conversations with. And so, again, the idea of social retail, social marketing, it's so doable. And I think if we just, for folks that think it's not, really just be confident in yourself and know that you can do it, because if I can do it, you can do it.
Perfectly said. Well, thank you for being with us today. I'm going to continue to cheer you on and hope to be able to visit you in Hawaii one of these days. I'm so envious of all of you that are crushing it over in the Hawaiian Islands. So thank you for being here with me today.